I found a hidden camera in my bedroom, and you'll never guess who put it there. You know that feeling when something just feels off? Like someone's watching you, even when you're alone. That's how I'd been feeling for weeks in my own apartment. At first, I blamed it on stress. I was working late nights, barely sleeping, and constantly feeling paranoid. But then, weird things started happening. I'd leave my things in one place, only to find them somewhere else. My closet door would be slightly open when I knew I had closed it. My TV would turn on in the middle of the night. I started to wonder if I was losing my mind. But I wasn't. And what I found next made my blood run cold. One night, I was deep cleaning my bedroom when I noticed something strange near my nightstand. A tiny hole in the corner of my wall. I ran my fingers over it, feeling my stomach twist. I grabbed my phone and shined a light inside. And that's when I saw it. A tiny, blinking red light. My heart nearly stopped. It was a camera. Someone had been watching me. My hands shook as I pried it out of the wall. It was a small wireless camera. One I had never seen before. I wanted to throw up. Who put this here? How long had it been recording me? I immediately checked my entire room, my entire apartment. And that's when I found the second one. Inside my bathroom vent. At that moment, my paranoia turned into full-blown terror. I wasn't just imagining things. Someone had been inside my home. I packed a bag and ran out of my apartment, my mind racing. I needed help. I needed to find out who did this. I called the police, and they sent officers to investigate. They took the cameras for evidence and asked if I had any idea who might have done this. I had no idea. Or at least, I thought I didn't. Until one of the officers asked a simple question. Has anyone had access to your apartment recently? And then it hit me. A month before, my landlord had sent someone to fix my heater. I didn't think much of it at the time. Just some maintenance guy doing his job. But then I remembered something. The way he kept staring at me. The way he took his time looking around my room before he even touched the heater. My stomach twisted. Could it have been him? When the police pulled up the camera's serial number, the truth came out. The cameras were registered to my landlord. My own landlord had been spying on me. When the police arrested him, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This wasn't the first time. He had done this before, to multiple tenants. He installed hidden cameras in apartments, watching women without them ever knowing. And I had been his latest victim. I felt violated, disgusted, furious. He had access to my home, my personal space, my most intimate moments. And he had been recording everything. But now, he was finally going to pay for it. The police confiscated all the footage, and I was forced to relive the horror as they combed through the evidence. I saw clips of myself sleeping, changing, even just lying in bed scrolling on my phone. The realization that someone had been watching me without my consent made my skin crawl. I wasn't the only victim. As the investigation unfolded, more women from my building came forward. My landlord had been spying on multiple tenants for years. I felt sick. How many other nights had I been watched? How many private moments had he stolen from me? I refused to let this go. I moved out immediately, breaking my lease and making sure everyone knew why. I warned every tenant in the building, and soon the story caught fire. Local news picked it up. Social media exploded. Women shared their own horror stories, and suddenly, this wasn't just about me anymore. This was about every woman who had ever felt unsafe in her own home. With all the evidence stacked against him, my landlord was charged with multiple counts of illegal surveillance and invasion of privacy. At his trial, he had the audacity to keep his head down, pretending to be ashamed. But I knew the truth. He wasn't sorry he did it. He was sorry he got caught. I stood in that courtroom and looked him dead in the eye. You stole my privacy. You stole my peace of mind. But you will never steal my power. The judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison. I felt a wave of relief, but also a deep lingering sense of violation that I knew would take time to heal. No amount of justice could erase what he had done. I installed security cameras in my new apartment. This time, I was the one watching. I started speaking out about privacy and safety, warning other women to check their spaces, to never assume they're alone. And I made a promise to myself. I would never ignore my gut feeling again. Because in the end, my instincts were right all along. And that's what saved me.